Hey everyone, I'm Dillon Chen. I'm one of the co-founders of Commonwealth Labs. Shout out to the rest of the goons back there. There's Drew and Raymond, also from Commonwealth, if you want to say hi or even during the presentation to chat with us. So Commonwealth is, well, a little short introduction on what Commonwealth is and what the connection to Edgeware is. So Commonwealth is one of the teams that are help launching Edgeware, essentially. And Edgeware is a Polkadot smart contract platform, and I'll get to that throughout this presentation. This is my contact info, so you can come tweet at me at Dillon. You can reach out to me at Dillon@commonwealth.im, or you can reach out to Hey Edgeware as well, and we'll check that. So this is actually kind of funny for us, just because this same slide was what we presented at Web3 last year. And so we're on the main stage. We got on right after Gab went on for his substrate demonstration. And it's just been a very, very interesting year. And I'll recap that a little bit. So I think it's now time to potentially retire this joke. What is Edgeware? But we'll give it one last go. Essentially, so Edgeware, what I would usually say is it's a little borough in London, essentially. And that's the first result on DuckDuckGo. It's the first result if you search on Google or something like that. And so Edgeware still has a long way to go to potentially help influence, crypto communities to building applications that actually impact society. But I think we've started to make a little bit of progress there, and the community can kind of take over the process of building that up. Actually, if someone wants to search Edgeware right now, I'd be curious to see where we are. But for our purposes, Edgeware is a few things. Again, it's a Polkadot smart contract platform, so you can build dev-friendly WASM smart contracts. So instead of building Solidity, you can build in Rust, C, C++, and it'll compile down, it should run, hopefully. And the second aspect is a fair distribution process, and I'm sure there has been some community feedback on that, and actually that's a part of the conversation that we'd love to continue. But it's a thing called the lock drop. So you lock your Ethereum, you get Edgeware tokens, you get your Ethereum back. I think as of an hour ago, 1.2 million ETH has been locked up in this process, which is exciting and very scary as well. Again, so this token, once you get the Edgeware token, is distributed to the community, 90% of tokens, and it starts this on-chain governance process. So 10% of the new tokens, or 50% of the new tokens, 10% inflation will go to a treasury, and that should fund essentially ecosystem operations. So that could be building different DAOs, different protocols, or different projects and teams that are looking to further the Edgeware experience, so to speak. When Polkadot launches, or even when Kusama launches, we can start this process of integration to become a parachain, essentially. So Edgeware will start as a solo chain, so to speak, with its own validation community, and will transition to using the same shared security that Polkadot has as well. Cool. So again, who should participate in Edgeware? I want to reiterate, so I think there's been around 5,000 different participants all around the globe participating in the lock drop now. And so I know from conversations that we've had, it's a bunch of different segments that have kind of participated in Edgeware. So it's governance experimenters who want to run different DAOs, people who want to iterate on different voting mechanisms, different processes for actually improving different networks in a potentially decentralized manner. It's stakers and validators. So our initial goal was to get around 50 to 100 validators in the beginning. And through these conversations throughout this whole 9-month process, essentially, we've kind of hit that mark. Core network developers, so Parity, Web3, a number of individuals and teams are slated to work on core network technology, from zero knowledge integrations to other things like that, and of course we're always looking for more. And again, the last bucket that I mentioned, there's a few really interesting projects that are looking to actually launch on Edgeware as soon as we can get things out the door. And so those are things like prediction markets, potentially insurance protocols, stablecoins, other DAOs, and hopefully decentralized social networks. I think the user experience is still a little tough there, but hopefully we can make a stab at it. But again, it's a whole ecosystem of participants that have come through this open process. And again, when we had first talked about Edgeware here last year, no one would have thought about what was to come, essentially. And so again, I kind of highlight this open process and try to highlight all the different individuals, because the core question that we started with last year was, can we actually build an ecosystem that is can create as much value as a centralized company in a decentralized manner. And so again, we're standing on 2 feet now, and hopefully we can start to cross the starting line once we launch September 15th. And so one of the things that we want to look at are having teams build essentially modular components. And so Commonwealth Labs, again, as the entity that's helping launch Edgeware, will contribute some components as well. But again, there's so much to be built. So the things that we'd love to see are dev tooling to make Edgeware and I guess the whole crypto ecosystem more active, as well as the set of governance components. So DAOs, again, I feel like I've said DAOs 5 times in the past even. DAOs, the underlying treasury that Edgeware is able to build, different methods of voting, different types of identity. So linking a Twitter address to an Edgeware account, and again, any substrate modules that can kind of like be plugged in to this to the network. We would love to see all of this stuff come together. And yeah. So again, I guess one point to highlight is we are built on Substrate, and that was actually, I think, one of the things that allowed us to really move things forward and push the pace. So basically, we went from announcing Edgeware here October-ish, so it's been less than a year, and so we took that from announcement to speccing out the modules that we want to build out on Substrate, to actually running novel token distribution, to standing up a few test nets and running a chain. And so it's been a very, very exciting year, and it wouldn't have happened without building on Substrate. So again, to highlight here, so we've launched this. We have now, I think that we're missing a 0 here. 5,000 interested experimenters. We've built a governance relayer and interface that I'll show some slides on a little bit later. And well, again, this is a little out of date, but we'll have mainnet launch September 15th. So here you can see essentially the different validators that are participating. If you go to Polkadot telemetry, this is live and updating, so just to prove that this is like a real live thing. And again, here's some early designs for the Commonwealth interface. The tool that we can use to actually run governance experiments, to actually vote on chain, to have discussions, and to kind of like further network development. You can actually go to commonwealth.im. We've updated the design, and you can start to create proposals even before the network has launched. Again, as Peter mentioned before, we want to source a bunch of proposals before the network launches, so we can start things right away. And you can see basically a profile page. The other page you could call a whole page feed. And here's an example of a proposal page. So you can see exactly who's voted, you can see what discussions are going on around it, and all this should happen on-chain, essentially. So a little bit more about the treasury. So this is one thing that I'm extremely excited about. Commonwealth, we've been super happy about the participation, but I think to kind of further that, We've always known that there's been a contentious debate around how layer 1 or ecosystems should be funded. And so our kind of experiment towards that is building a DAO attached to, I guess, a blockchain. And the purpose of this is to essentially fund future ecosystem development. Again, 50% of the block reward will go to other contributors besides just validators, because we recognize that there's other people outside there who are still working to improve the chain. And so again, once you claim your Edgeware token, you can vote, you can participate through the Commonwealth interface, create proposals, lock your tokens to vote, and then and then send other funds out from the DAO. And so this is the point I mentioned on the Edgeware token distribution. So this is a process that's been running throughout the whole summer, and it's been very exciting as well. So the live stats page is up at commonwealth.im /pound exclamation point /stats /Edgeware. And so it's live updating, and you can see it's around 1.2 million ETH that's been locked, 1.5 million ETH that's been signaled essentially, so people who are getting Edgeware token and signaling their interest. And so we're really, really excited about that. And so the 90% of tokens that I alluded to before, this is the process that's being given away in block draw. So there's still 10 days left. It's ending September 1st. And so, you know, if this is any indication, hopefully you guys can come participate in the process. That's it. I actually would love to open up for questions and kind of talk about, I'd love to see if people have suggestions for things that they want to see within the crypto ecosystem. Because again, this is an open and active process for everyone to participate in. Questions?
Can you show the governance layer?
Can we show the governance layer? I guess we're, did we? Okay, we've been shut down. I guess not. But yeah, no, commonwealth.im would be the place to go to. Thank you all.